Indiana Jones, Indiana It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the daily podcast in which we get to the heart of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm the intern, Jerry Porter.
And we are joined once again by the intern's intern, wearing her jewels, and we do not know what else. Welcome back, intern's intern.
I'm calling HR.
Good to be back.
I'm calling HR.
You got him on speed dial, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm being made uncomfortable.
And today we are discussing minute 49, which begins with Indy talking about mating customs, and it ends with what I'm assuming to be a nod to the original Scottish castle setting of the movie, with Indy using his famous taunt to the Sultan of Madagascar when he says, "If you want me, Willie."
I don't know how we go forward in this minute.
Yeah. Join us next time for minute 50 of Indiana.
Well,
Thanks, guys. It's been great.
What's weird about this minute is the music is this delicate, swelling love theme. And yet there's nothing actually romantic here. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. There's clearly a primal sexual energy and tumescence and horniness, but it's not romantic. And, I was thinking, like, it would make more sense to have sort of this, like, a savage lust Temple of Doom drums, or some sort of, like, 1930s Gene Krupa sing, sing, sing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
not a dad's old-fashioned root beer.
I just wanted to join in the drum talk. That's all I've learned about drums so far.
So walk in tonight when we're done with this podcast and say, what was it? Sex Spock?
Yeah.
Sexy Spock and Dad, and then start singing Dad's old-fashioned root beer.
Jerry, you should know me well enough to know that this would not shock my wife at all. This is called Monday evening.
Wait, it's Tuesday.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, Tuesday evening. Thank you. Well, I agree with you that this is music for a different couple at a different time than these two, but it makes sense if you think of it as being like Willie is hearing this. She's hearing this music. This is like, oh, I'm kissing a guy in a Indian palace, and it's it's going to be great. And he's going to be my slave later on or something like that. And he gave me an apple.
He's going to be my slave.
She's feeling this. She's this is like some kind of storybook romance scene for her.
Well, she's got a great internal monologue going because this music is gorgeous. It's like right out of a 40s noir. Like the music swells and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So she's got some taste.
It doesn't match anything that's happening. Intern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. And I would agree that a lot of this scene is sort of addled with cliche that doesn't fit, whether it's the dialogue or the blocking or the gesture with the glass flinging. It's just it's ways that are sort of padding, to your point, a very different interaction. There's a real dichotomy.
It's not we're not talking about romance.
Right.
Oh no, not at
Yeah,
all.
we're not talking about romance.
You know what's really
be
funny?
Clear.
I'm looking at a still of Indy right after the kiss, and he looks like he cannot believe that he just kissed a girl. He's got this very kind of goofy, goony look on his face, like, ha, 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 ha. Oh my goodness. It's really bizarre.
That's the music in your head, Tom.
It is. That's what I hear when I kiss a girl.
Well, but, speaking of kissing Willie, does she taste like a green apple?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's cause and effect. That's
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving along.
Well, so moving along. So he says primitive sexual practices. You're an authority in that area. Years of field work. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking to myself, all right, so Indy is a lecher, a hussy. He's packing a tarnished fertility idol.
Uh-huh.
Not
yet.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he says he's had years of field work. So, I'm asking. I'm going to ask my intern. Is promiscuity sexy?
It's a great question.
But by the way, I feel like I'm on The View right now.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get out of this scene.
Yeah, I know. I mean, is promiscuity sexy, intern?
Well, we in preparation for this, we kind of talked about everyone has a number, and it's kind of funny. If your number's too low, you're perceived as this. If it's too high, you're perceived as that. It's really interesting, but I think the perception is that if you are promiscuous / more experienced, that makes you more skilled, and I would argue that that's not necessarily accurate.
Right. That's fair.
Okay.
That's what I tell myself.
He doesn't say, well, maybe in my case, months of field work.
No, he doubles down. Yeah. Not only does he say years of field work.
Yeah,
what's she going to do? Check?
Yeah.
But I think that's like her saying, you'll never have better. Like they're sort of like they're playing the dozens with their words and kind of going back and forth. I'm the greatest. No, I'm the greatest. You never have better than me.
The more I watch... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just there's a lot of fronting going on. There's a lot of puffing up of the feathers and sort of I'm so great.
Yeah,
I'm
starting to
trying
feel
to
like
outdo each other.
I'm starting to feel like they're both really inexperienced, actually. Like she's got this storybook palace thing going on in her head, which is totally unrealistic and silly, and she's with this guy she doesn't even like. But she's like, oh, you'll never have any better. It's all very kind of fakey storybooky. And Indy, he showed up with an apple, and thank God she took it for his sake. And now he's like, oh, I'm going to roll with this. Okay, I'll tell her I'm a scientist. I'll tell her I don't need these glasses. It's going to work out perfectly. And you could almost see that neither of them knows what they're doing, and they're just kind of.
Well, it's a little too much talking, if you know what I mean. It's a little too much talking.
It's
for
true.
Being miles from home in Pancot Palace. It's a little too much talking, and it's sort of come on.
Yeah.
It's enough already. Yeah.
I feel like the line that Indy says before Willie gets mad is worse than the one that upsets her. Is when he says, "I've had worse." That doesn't seem like a good line.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, what is he? Yeah, what is he trying to accomplish here? And I just want to be clear: these are grown adults.
True.
Right.
True.
But see, I'm wondering, is Willie still suffering the effects of that terrible concussion she got when she fell backwards at the table and you heard that big metal clunk?
Yeah, she hit her head
that
on
was
the
horrible.
Because she immediately says, her personality changes on a dime. And it might be that she's eaten, but it also might be the concussion. Because she's like, I don't blame you for being sore at me. I can be hard to handle. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge transition from where she's been the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or is she just mechanizing here because she's horny?
Yeah, this seems like another stage of the flirtiness that she's engaged in.
The flirtiness and the Harrison Fordedness. We keep eclipsing that. It's Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Do you think she'd be more into? Do you think she'd be more into Han Solo at this point? I keep thinking about him and Princess Leia on the Millennium Falcon, and that's a scene. That is.
Yeah.
That's a prelude to a kiss. That's he knows what he's doing there. His hands are dirty too, and I think he's macking circles around Indiana Jones at this point.
But we don't have a C-3PO chaperone here.
No. Shorty's waiting in the next room for all the details later on.
But that's what kind of makes him endearing. He's a little bit clumsy. He's maybe not so polished. It kind of makes him a little vulnerable and a little bit more endearing.
Maybe.
Is he in? Is he endearing? Is he endearing here?
No.
I think I've had worse. Doesn't sound endearing to me. Like,
yeah.
He seems, you know what it seems like? I feel like he's pulling the girl's ponytail on the playground.
Oh,
that's
totally.
That's how I see it.
Yeah,
he's pulling the girl's ponytail on the playground because he doesn't know how to tell her he likes her.
Well, he's been nothing but a jerk to her the entire movie, and
Yeah.
right now he might be thinking, all right, I'm just going to be as much of a jerk as I can and see what the limit is, because so far it seems to be working. I'm like in her room eating apples, and I just made out with her a little bit. I'll just
Well, and
keep...
she's been kind of whiny and hysterical, and it worked on the other end, too.
But you're right, Pete. That line is so much worse than the one that actually pisses her off.
Right,
But,
that's true.
Like, I still don't... I mean, it seems like she gets angry because the script needs them to be not talking to each other for the next 2 minutes.
That's what I had the same thought. Oh, my God.
Well, what is she actually getting angry? I still don't quite understand what it is
know.
that makes her angry. Is it just that he accepts what's going to happen? He
accepts what she is offering him openly and freely. That's what's like. I as I'm writing, even as I was writing my notes for this, I'm like, can I talk about this without sounding like a frat boy? You know, oh, she said she was into it and stuff. Like we're watching this scene. She is clearly coming on to him, and she's into. Of course, she has the right to say no and change her mind, but that doesn't mean that I, as an audience member, understand what's going on in the scene.
She throws her head back and closes her eyes. It says he'll never have better.
Right.
I mean, has any one of us here in our months of field work ever had somebody tell us that they've never had anyone better, or you'll never have anyone better? I mean, has anybody actually been the recipient of a line like that?
And I would add the second half of the question, and did it live up to the hype?
Yes, I get. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it depends who's saying it. I don't know.
I mean, it totally fits with, like, you know, if we're saying that she's just kind of like, you know, doing this kind of fairy tale thing right now, like kind of hyped up, you know, girl sleepover telling romance stories to each other kind of version of like a makeout session, that kind of fits with this. Or, you know, she would say that line. It doesn't mean that it works.
Here's what's totally confusing. Both Indy and Willie say, I'm not that easy. And you're sitting here and you're looking at it and you're like, I don't know, that looks pretty easy to me. I mean,
they both look incredibly easy.
Yeah. I mean, you show up with an apple and a stupid quip about primitive mating habits.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now you're done.
You're
already making out.
Yeah. And she yells at him at the end of the minute, or close to the end of the minute, you're too proud to admit that you're crazy about me. And he was just about to have sex with her. Like, why is she mad at him for doing exactly what she was trying to get him to do?
I don't understand any of this. I mean, it's hard enough in real life.
Yeah.
It's worse in the movie.
You know what this is? This is like trying to figure out what was going on with the Lazy Susan and the Club Obi-Wan. Like that entire scene where the whole time we're like, wait, so no, he has the. Wait, did he give the thing back already? Wait, why is he? He's got what he. Oh, like it's.
Yeah, well,
it's the
why
same
are they?
thing.
What's the game they're playing?
Well,
Right.
I'm going to add another layer of complexity here.
Uh-oh.
So we hinted at this last minute, and last minute he kind of did that thing where he pointed to her necklace, and she didn't fall for it. But this minute he does the full-on short round chin thing, where he does the little chin flip that he did to short round. And is that the only way he knows to express human kindness?
Oh.
Because we were talking about
funny.
with Sala, on the docks when he's about to get on the Bantu wind. We were talking about how awkward that was and how Indy doesn't seem to be able to relate to people on a human level sometimes. And is this like he learned this maybe, 15 years ago and it worked, and that's just his go-to? I'm going to be a human being.
Yeah.
I'm going to express warmth.
But he's trying to have sex with her.
Right.
Yeah, but to that point, do we ever evolve past our 14-year-old selves when it comes to mating rituals? Or are we really just all 14-year-olds just in 40-year-old bodies?
Well, it's totally true. We are. That's, you know what, I just got sad.
Well, as you and I have discussed, Jerry, that oftentimes in my advanced age, I often feel like the fat 14-year-old at the school dance who's just hoping to trap someone in for stay to heaven for 7.5 minutes.
Well, let me ask you, does a chin chuck do it? I mean, if someone chucks your chin you're about to have sex, or at least it's on the table, and someone chucks your chin, do you wipe the table clean and be like, get the hell out of here, don't chuck my chin?
Never been offered a chin chuck, like pre-coital chin chuck.
Aw.
Oh, this minute sucks.
You think that Indy, when Indy goes back to his room and he's telling Shorty all the details of his sexual adventure, is he going to say, hey, I use that chin chuck more that I used to do? You know how you hate that? I did that to her. They just killed Jared.
Oh no.
He goes,
got your nose.
Gosh.
Oh my god. You know that chin chuck.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and then you're Shorty and you're like, dude, why are you telling me this? What the hell was going on back there at the top of the mountain?
Yeah, I thought we had something special.
So, I mean, gee. I mean, like I said, it's confusing enough in real life. And with, men and women, and sex and dating and flirting and how to get the green light and not be scuzzy. And some people want you to be a little scuzzy and palislavy. And and some people are into apples. They like food and they Jesus. And then you're sitting here and you're watching a movie and it's worse.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's
escape
happening.
from life and go see the movies where things make sense.
Yeah.
You're like, God damn it.
And then it's exactly, why is she so angry? Because what were they supposed to do other than have sex at that turning point? And then you know what's crazy? We talked about this very specifically on the Bantu Wind. Did Indy and Marion, did they,
Did
seal,
they find him where they're?
Yeah, seal the deal, so to speak. And we all were very relaxed and kind of like, well, yes, I think they did. I think it was subtly implied, and here it's just like chaotic and messy and strange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Willie.
Yeah, and just like where Indy is in his life. He's messy and chaotic and strange in his life right now.
But he's supposed to be smooth.
Well, I
don't know if he is supposed.
Yeah,
go ahead, Pete.
I think, like we were saying at the very beginning, he's putting on an act. He's trying on these clothes as being a James Bond type of a guy.
Yeah,
but it's not who he really is. And so when when it really comes down to it, he's just a guy playing at a game that he doesn't know how to play.
Yeah, think of him in the classroom at Marshall College with the girl with the love you eyelids.
Mm-hmm.
He was like completely flummoxed. He didn't know what was going on. And it wasn't just because she was a student of his. Mm-hmm. And I know there are versions of like, oh my God, there's like, if you read that Monkey King script, they go like full throttle on he's doing every single one of his students and stuff. And it's disgusting. And it's not Indiana Jones. And but yeah, that guy is not this guy.
Yeah.
He didn't somehow become flustered about women in like a year. He's I don't know. I'm not totally buying this.
Well, and so to that extent, like, was the whole Pete? Let me ask you: was the whole white tuxedo thing? Was that like the first time he wore a white tuxedo? Just because he's trying to reinvent himself and do a whole thing. He's like,
it's the first time he wore the white tuxedo. It's the first time he tried out the phrases from his Chinese phrase book. This was all an act. It was all a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we all do that from time to time. We try on a jacket of a different color and wear it out and see what happens. That's okay to do.
Yeah, he's trying to reinvent himself. But he's in over his head.
Yeah. Well, does it need to be that complicated? Are the two of them overcomplicating it instead of just going for it and making too big a deal out of it?
And I'll tell you this, anytime there's a chin chuck, you're overcomplicating it. Yes, you're overcomplicating it. You're injecting the wrong thing. You're injecting complications.
Yes.
Yeah, right, Jer?
Curious if you'll have your voice by the end of the week.
You know what's funny? All you wanted me to do was not swear and be crude in this minute, but it's actually much more disconcerting just watching it unfold and not even talking really entirely about the plumbing of what didn't occur.
Right. Plumbing.
It's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Oh, he does have an interesting line here. You're too used to getting your own way. Is that Lily? Is
that projecting?
I don't know. Well, interesting. I wasn't thinking of that, but that's interesting. I was trying to like map that to like, what we've seen of her and stuff. Is that really I mean, we know that she's like, she's like a socialite and stuff, and
but has she gotten her own way once in this movie?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm thinking. Like, is she somebody who, even if she was, I can see her, living the high life in Shanghai and still not quite getting what she wanted, like kind of being on the edge of that, the periphery of that or something, and not like being totally on top of all that or something.
I feel like he's insulting the image he has of her. I don't feel like he's insulting her because I don't think she's like, I feel like she tries to put on this attitude like she should get what she wants, but I don't ever see her actually getting what she wants.
Right, but her way of going about it is whining and
right.
Mm-hmm.
She's bratty like somebody who should be getting what she wants.
Instead of Marion that pulls the sheath out of her belt and says, "F it, I'm going to go get the thing myself and I'm going to do it and it's fine. I got it." Totally different breed of a broad. Totally different broad. Yeah.
Well, and I'm wondering, you said you're too used to getting your own way, and you're like, is that like a reflection or a commentary on the palace slave thing?
Oh.
Oh.
I mean, she's like, is she a dominatrix?
She doesn't. She doesn't seem like it at all.
No, I don't.
Like, she was like giving herself up to Indy, like, oh, you'll never have any better. It's like,
right.
I feel like kind of like Tom's been talking about. I feel like they're both expecting the other one to be dominant, and the other one is not dominant, and so they're both still waiting for someone to make a move.
Yeah, that is heavy.
That's way heavy.
We got two bottoms here.
I feel.
But you know what's weird? We got two bottoms here who are both proclaiming to be tops.
Yeah.
And maybe that, thank you. Maybe that's why we're all so damn seasick and dizzy.
This is the only way the scene could end.
That's amazing. That's so amazing.
Well, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Intern? You have anything else?
Go ahead, intern.
No, that's it. I'm going to go to In-N-Out Burger now.
What? Can you give me a double animal style?
Anything you want.
And protein. Double animal style, protein
You
style.
You got it.
Well, wait. This just in from Professor Christy Porter.
Oh.
Yes. Masters and Johnson's just called. They want their grant money back.
Their findings are inconclusive.
Yes, all his years of field work. Mating habits and nocturnal positions or whatever it is.
Everyone, go find someone you love and just hold them tight. Hold their hand.
Yeah.
Chuck their chin.
Or, walk in and start singing Dad's Old Fashioned Root Beer.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I'll call somebody a sexy Spock.
And after they've done that, Tom, where else might they? I don't even know how to have words after.
Look, whatever you got to do, I got a place for you to do it. You sick freak. You take your perversions over to the Indiana Jones Minute Listeners Crusade on Facebook. That's our group there. You can chat with other freaks just like you. They're into palace slave stuff. They're into like chucking the chin and everything. It's all sick and crazy. And you go there and you check it all out and you dive in head first and you don't look back.
And
you.
For those who want the comfort of your own home too a little bit, we do have a Indiana Jones sex hotline. That is 724 Lost Ark. And then you can leave a message. It's okay. It's just no one's gonna talk back to you. No judgment. It's all good. No judgment.
Confidential.
I'm the one that has to answer that phone.
Pete is standing by.
724.
The trash can to vomit.
Wait, isn't that it's 724 Lost Ark, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
724 Lost Ark. And after you've called, after you've logged on, why don't you join us again tomorrow, right back where you found us today, for minute 50 of the Indiana Jones Minute.
My mom listens to this show.
Oh, jeez. Does she really? It's awesome. I'm thrilled my mom doesn't know how to work a computer.